All right, so I wanted to do my 2-year update on doing like my vitamin C shots, my peptides, and all my different herbs and supplements that I use. So I am still doing the vitamin C shots. The one problem I'm having is it is getting harder and harder to find it without a prescription. So you can't get a prescription from your general doctor. You can get a prescription from a naturopathic doctor. And I've even found a few sites online that you can go through. But the problem is a lot of times the markup's pretty high if you're not going through your general doctor or, even naturopaths can be somewhat expensive to see, but if they're willing to give you a vitamin C prescription, it's going to be cheaper in the long run to get it from them. A lot of the suppliers like that I was using is just, it's becoming much more restricted. So I have found also a few things too that have been beneficial. I am taking oral vitamin C in large doses, but one thing I have found, and there's actually studies that they've done on this for like fibromyalgia using malic acid and like a magnesium complex, or taking like Epsom salt baths to absorb it through your skin, or like some sort of like Epsom salt or magnesium oil on your body, because it actually absorbs through your skin way better than it's going to absorb when you take it. When you take it, you absorb like very little magnesium. But the malic acid has been shown for people that have fibromyalgia to reduce muscle pain when taken over. It's not something you're gonna see right away. It's something you're gonna see that your inflammation drastically kind of starts to dip down. It's a similar effect that I found from the vitamin C actually. So it's, but it helps with how your body supports muscles and energy production. So it's, which is something that we have an issue with. A lot of us, are very fatigued. A lot of times that our muscles, are wasting. And also I think this is just something that our body does really well with. It's something, especially if you're not able to find somewhere to get the vitamin C, I would go start using the malic acid and taking Epsom salt baths regularly. And that's I think gonna bring you relief. Try it for like 3 months and see if you see a results. You can Google fibromyalgia and malic acid and the study will pop up, and you could read that and see how you feel about that. And another one I wanted to mention too is just the pine bark extract. A lot of us have ADD, and this is great for that, but it also helps with circulation, because that's another problem we have is our body, the circulation is just all messed up. So anything that you can take that's going to benefit circulation is going to help prevent you from a lot of the pain that you get, because a lot of that is from lack of circulation, and then the lactic acid, like I've said in some of my other videos, just sitting on your muscles. I really think that anything that you can do to support that is going to help. And another thing that a lot of us have too is I call it the motherfucker gene, but it's pretty much where your body cannot absorb folic acid. You need folate. So you need to make sure that this also helps a lot with improving your mast cells, but it's something you want to kind of gradually build, adding more of this, but folate actually helps your body detoxify, and that's another issue that we have is I feel like our body just doesn't know how to flush the toxins out very well, and I think a lot of that is due to, especially if you do have the motherfucker gene, and I believe that is its rightful name because it does fuck you. That this is going to help with some of that. If you have any signs of mast cell activation syndrome, a lot of that I feel is also caused by just our body gets so filled up with toxins that we then just start having allergic reactions to kind of like everything. I mean, you can have a mast cell flare from just getting really upset even. So it's really pretty crazy how the mast cell activation syndrome goes hand in hand with the EDS and the POTS, and they all kind of you know, the mast cell then can activate, then you'd have like a POTS flare. And it's just this domino effect. Another thing too that I find helps a lot too with the POTS is Corydalis extract. That actually helps your body make like more oxygen. And if you want to follow me too, you can follow me on either my Instagram, which is Christine Liney. I'll put that in the bottom. Or I'm also on TikTok, Healing Issues with Tissues. And I also do share my videos also on Facebook as well too. So I'll put all of those down if you want to follow me on any of those, where I post regularly videos about the supplements I use, and I go into a little bit more depth with it as well. Another one, L-carotene too. That's another good one to take. Most of us with EDS are very low in L-carotene, and that's going to help your body make muscles. And your body making muscles is also going to prevent you from having more hypermobility. Think about kind of like how a bodybuilder, as he gets more built up, he becomes like less flexible. You see those guys in the gym. Sorry, I need a drink. But you see those guys in the gym who, you know, they've just gotten to where like they can't like move. We almost want to become a little bit like that. You know, by getting the muscle, you tighten up. I've even seen a lot of women too, like when they lose a lot of weight and then they become extra hypermobile, and they actually end up having like sometimes more issues afterwards, because even the extra weight was just helping to give some cushion so you're not as hypermobile. So there's a lot of very interesting things there. I notice a lot of my hypermobility has gotten sometimes worse when I have gotten like really thin. Not always on purpose, a lot of times due to just health reasons. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But another thing I want to go on to is the peptide therapy. The BPC-157 and the TB-500 peptides, I think eventually will actually be something that is given as a prescription, kind of like how insulin is given to people that have diabetes, because insulin is a peptide. I think eventually those are going to be things that are given to us to help also, because it helps speed up wound healing, and it also helps to strengthen connective tissue. So it's something that I take very regularly. It's also a lot easier to get your hands on. You can go through, there's many peptide specialists online that you can go through and give them your medical history, and they can help you pick out some of the ones that are maybe the best for your condition. For me, that combo has been really good. I also take another one that helps to boost your human growth hormone. I'm 41, almost 42. So like, if you're over the age of 30, then your human growth hormone is already like starting to dip, which is why a lot of people's health conditions get a lot worse in their 30s. So anything that helps a lot with pain, that helps with the building muscles, it helps with all kinds of stuff. But a lot of those you can all get through a peptide specialist. I would go through a peptide specialist that can go over your medical history and help you pick out the best ones. But you can find them pretty easily online. And if you Google, you know, peptide therapy, there's going to be all kinds of, it's becoming more and more popular. It's also becoming a lot more regulated, which can sometimes be good and bad, you know, because sometimes it's harder to get your hands on it, or you have to pay a lot more money to get it. But I do have suppliers that I use for that. So you can also like buy in bulk with a wholesaler and save yourself money. But that will help a lot with your pain. It's going to help with your hypermobility. It's going to help you build some muscle back up. In conjunction too with a lot of supplements and things, you can be on your way to getting better. I mean, I do think a lot of the things that I've done have completely changed my life. I was still using like a wheelchair just about, you know, before I started a lot of this stuff, I was using an electric wheelchair. Going for like even just a walk was like torture. So I do think these have I feel in some ways I've aged a little bit in reverse by making some of these changes. I've gotten a lot more of my energy back. I'm still disabled. I'm still a disabled person. I still am very fragile. I still have to take things easy. I'm still not working full time or anything like that. I'm hoping that as time goes on, my health will continue to improve. But with EDS, you never know, you can only do the best that you can. But that's why I'm also trying to share this information, because I think a lot of people, especially when they first get diagnosed, it's pretty, it's a scary diagnosis to have. I think if you watch any of my early videos where I am just, I'm pretty beaten down by it. So I'm praying that some of this would work, and I'm gonna get emotional when I start talking about it, but it definitely has, it's changed, and I can be a lot more active with my daughter, which is, the most important thing for me personally. She's 6, so, you want to be able to take your kid to do things and play and all that. So, but I don't want this to get too long, but I'll put down my other socials. Feel free to message me. I do try to respond to any comments that are left. It's not always super fast, but I try to eventually get to them. You can contact me quicker on my other socials. I'm more active on that than I am on YouTube. But I'll try to post more on YouTube as well, because I have gotten a lot of comments and questions. So, but I hope this helps somebody. If nothing else, I hope it gives you some hope. That's the most important thing to really hold on to through this, going through something like this is hope. So, but I hope this helps somebody. Have a good one.